Welcome everybody to Bolide Technology Group's Unique Solutions webinar series. Today's webinar is on smart mobile video solutions. My name is Richard Jones. I'm Regional Manager, Great Lakes. With me today is Mike Lugo, our Technical Support Engineer. Hello, Mike.
How's everybody doing?
Today's webinar is brought to you by Bolide Technology Group, over 26 years experience in the surveillance industry. We have been awarded a GSA contract with the federal government. A little bit more about Bolide, established 1993. We're coming to you from our corporate headquarters in San Dimas, California, a few miles east of Pasadena in the beautiful San Gabriel Valley. We're a worldwide manufacturer specializing in video surveillance solutions. We're a one-stop shop for all your surveillance needs. Cameras, recorders, accessories, cable, wire. Mike, here's what we're going to go over today. This is the webinar outline, the overview. So I'm going to start with taking a look at the features and benefits of mobile surveillance. Then I'm going to take a look at some of our newest products for 2019, mobile video recorders, cameras, accessories. Then I'm going to hand it over to you to show how we tap into and control the features, the sensors that come with mobile surveillance. And then round it off with applications and get the viewers thinking about how to add it to their line of business, to generate more business so you don't leave money on the table. Also, stick with us until the very end. We're going to have a special promotion for those of you sticking with us so you get your hands on one mobile video recorder so you can try it out. Let's take a look and just discuss what the features and benefits of mobile surveillance are. Like any surveillance, you're going to have video recording, audio recording, two-way audio. The benefits, the features of GPS include items GPS tracking, 3G, 4G connectivity, Wi-Fi connectivity. So the benefits, one benefit is that you will be able to collect valuable information to measure the efficiency of your vehicles, monitor the safety of people and assets from anywhere. And also I want to throw it out there, attendees, please ask questions. This webinar will be better the more you participate. So we'll take questions throughout the webinar and at the end as well. So feel free to go ahead and ask questions. Let's take a look. Let's start out with our mobile video recorders. Here's a new item for 2019. This is a hybrid IP analog full HD MVR. Comes in a 4-channel model and an 8-channel model. 1080p resolution, a hard drive bay up to 2 terabytes. Like any good mobile surveillance system, it's shock and vibration resistant housing. So in this unit, as you can see, 4 IP cameras, 4 AHD 960H cameras. Here we have a 4-channel, 8-channel, 16-channel, a hard drive, MVR, 2 hard drive bays for the 16-channel, takes up to 2 terabytes storage. 3G, 4G SIM card integration, as well as Wi-Fi. Here's an SD card model, 720 resolution, 2 slots, SD cards can hold up to 256 GB.
What's the difference between the SD and the regular one?
One is a solid state drive and no moving parts. Here's a waterproof IP67 rated mobile video recorder. Let's take a look at some of our cameras. At the end, we're going to be taking a closer look at the front and back of one of our MVRs, as well as accessories.
Actually, we have a quick question right here.
Yeah.
They asked, is the mobile DVR, does it work with any IP camera? So OMVIF is, once again, it's our best friend in the IP world. Yeah.
Mini mobile dome camera, 720p, a fixed lens, wide angle, 2.8 millimeter, IR up to 65 feet, and the IP66 weather-rated housing. Here's a vandal-proof mobile side camera to get rid of blind spots on a vehicle. And so 720p, also with traditional analog CVBS,
CVBS,
and features like wide dynamic range, motion detection. This model supports coax control.
Yeah. Let's go with another question. It says, what's the temperature rating? Off the top of my head, I do not know the temperature rating, but we can get that to you. Looks like you're in some extreme conditions. So yeah, we'll get that information over to you to get to the exact temperature rating. You're saying that it's -40 where you're at. Yeah, let's make sure that that's the case.
And for the rear and front, we have this camera. It is a 6mm lens, 720p, rear facing or front facing. You can put it on either end. IP67 weather rated housing. And we have the whole system, including a monitor for you. So here's a mobile LCD monitor with a sun visor, 10.1-inch mobile monitor. And there's a fascinating feature about this one is that if it's connected to the shifter, it'll show a back view.
Yeah, so if you want to use one of the cameras as a backup camera, the recorder connects to your shifter. When you go into reverse, it'll switch over to channel 2 or switch over to the IO, and show you the reverse view, and to help you, back up if you're in a big, large truck, doesn't have maybe a rear view mirror. So that's another advantage of this recorder.
And we also have all the accessories for you, like an ultrasonic fuel sensor with signal control box, two-way push-to-talk radio, and of course the uninterrupted power supply. Yeah,
that's pretty important, the UPS, because I believe we have a customer that they only work off Wi-Fi. So when they come in at the end of the day, they have to unload all that video, and they're on buses. So when the bus goes off, they're going to need some kind of power to keep that going. We've tested so up to 30 minutes you'll get like a 4-camera system. It'll dump all that video after the vehicle's off. That's the advantage of a UPS.
Let's take a closer look at one of these models. Here's the front view, indicator lights, and that lock, the key is included. And then they have the SIM card slots and the SIM card slot and the SD card slots. And this model, that lock opens up access to the SD card and the SIM card.
Yeah, that's the SD model, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's take a look at the rear. Here you see your 3G, 4G connection, Wi-Fi 1 and 2, GPS, 4 camera connections. What kind of connections do we have, Mike?
So they're aviator cables, and at the end we'll have BNC. You can convert it. Yeah. Quick question though, what's the maximum on the SD model?
256.
Okay.
GB.
Yeah, so 256 gigabytes will be your max.
Okay, so we also have the cable connector that adapts BNC cameras to this, so they can add a variety of BNC cameras with the cable that we have, and hook it up to the aviation connection there.
Yep.
Those 4 cameras. You see 4-camera model here, 4 channels.
Yep.
RJ45, and the very important input output, which opens up a whole world of sensors. That's a very important connection there.
Yeah, it is. Very important.
So what's in the box? What comes with a mobile video recorder?
So let's go through this really quick. So in the box, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff, as you can see here. Really important that each one of these cables or everything here is a very important function on the recorder, such as the Wi-Fi antennas. You see the aviator cables there with the audio, video, and 12-volt connectors. GPS antenna. Everything you do on the recorder is dealt with the remote control, so it's very important to not lose this remote control. We have an audio video cable that goes in the front for setting up. Of course, your basic power, and this connects very simple, just like if you're familiar with connecting a car stereo, it connects the same way to the battery and then to your power.
On that power connection, what is this box like?
So that's a fuse.
Oh,
It's a 12-volt fuse. So you got a little bit of protection on surges or anything like that. And then there's a back cover that covers your wire harness and all your cables back there so they don't come out. You can just clip that onto the back. So one of the most important things I want to touch on is this wire harness, because this is going to open up a whole world of input outputs, power connecting to the actual recorder. So it comes with the sensors in and out, 1 output, 8 inputs. That's really important. You can connect a whole bunch of things to these sensor inputs. Of course, it's got audio, video. It's that yellow connector there that connects directly to the monitor. Of course, you have another 12-volt power out to connect another device, microphone.
So you're looking at sensors like mileage sensor, speed sensor, fuel sensor. We have an alarm sensor, panic buttons.
Yep, all kinds of sensors. In a little while, I'm gonna show you guys some of the reports you can pull with these sensors. So let's kind of put it all together. This is a typical 4-channel system. You can see the 4 cameras, the monitor, and also there's a RFID, which is basically will go connected to one of the sensors. Really cool. You can add a lot of things with these sensors, especially in a situation like this. You know, someone shouldn't be on the bus, not allowed to go. Yeah, so that's a typical installation. So
how do we set up? How do we connect and control these sensors?
Good question. So everything's done remotely, obviously, since it's a mobile device. There's a couple things you're going to need off the bat in order to get this online. Of course, you're going to need your antennas that all come in the box, your GPS antenna, your mobile broadband antenna, and your Wi-Fi antenna. So without those things, we're not going to be able to connect to the recorder. In order to do that, you're also going to need a couple other things that are not in the box, which would be a SIM card, right, or a Wi-Fi access point. We do provide the software and the server free of charge. It's called Bolide Mobile Management Software, and I'll get a little bit deeper into that in a little bit. But these things you're gonna need these things in order to get it online. And then, so here's a typical installation, how it works. As you can see, we have the bus with the recorder on it, and it's going to connect via either 4G, 3G, or Wi-Fi. And of course, GPS if you want to do some tracking. The wireless broadband is going to get you online, or Wi-Fi up to the internet, and that's going to connect to the server, which is Bolide Mobile Management Server. And it's going to be online. They'll communicate with each other. Also, your client's going to be how you're going to get all this information. Your client also connects to the server. So the server is the go-between. The server is going to handle all the communications in and out between the recorder and the client. I also want to touch really quick on port forwarding. If you guys aren't familiar with port forwarding, these do require port forwarding. So, you know, when they're going into a network, you're going to want to open up that router. There's more than a few ports you're going to have to open and have to stay open in order for you to communicate with the recorder and the server. Just keep that in mind. So I said that there's a server, there's a client, and there's a bunch of features that come with these two things here. Let's get into a little bit about the server. The server is a very light application. You don't need, you know, to go out and buy a server that's, you know, running a Xeon processor. It's a very light application. You can run it. We have people that run it on laptops. I don't recommend that, but you can do it on a laptop. And it just does very simple routing and communications between the two devices. So that was the server. The most important of these would be the Bolide Mobile Management Client, right? And so that's going to show you your GPS, your video, your anything you need to access. And let's take a look at that. I actually have a live view of these things we can go into. Give me a second. Let's close. Okay, so this is actually one of our customers in Latin America, and they have a whole bus system. Put it on here. Let me get this switched over. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so this is our.
What are we looking at here?
This is our client in Latin America, and this is their bus system.
Oh.
Let me zoom in a little bit and show you guys a little better. You can see this is live. This is going on right now. These are the buses moving as they're going through the city. And you can pull all kinds of information. Just click on one of these buses to see what's going on with it. So it tells me its signal strength. It's working on 4G. It gives me its GPS coordinates. And say I want to see some video. I want to see what's going on in these buses here. So I do have this on substream because of the transmission. But you can see there's a live bus. There's everybody on the bus. This is going on as we speak. Pretty cool. Really cool stuff. I think we had a question about the panic button. It does put a timestamp on the recording. Someone asked, does the panic button put a timestamp? It does. A timestamp and an alarm back to the server or to the client, or maybe even to your phone. Any kind of notification that you'd need, it would send you, maybe even an email that something has happened. You can even have that panic button shut off the vehicle altogether. Many things you can do with it. So that was a good question. Let me take it a step further. So as you see down here, we have a bunch of stuff going on. Basically, this is telling us where the vehicles are, right, at any given time. And you can see there's a red alarm information. So we had a couple of triggers go off within the last, looks like, hour or so.
So the kind of triggers that go off alarms can be like a geofence.
Exactly.
When a bus or vehicle is outside of allowed permitted territory, maybe speed is going too fast.
Yep. And you can see that there's a couple geofencing or parking alarms if it's parked too long. Numerous notifications that you can get. And I'll show you how to pull those up and show you exactly what kind of we get in a second. But I just want to go through these really quick. An event tab. Hasn't been no events that have gone. If we captured any pictures, they would be here. Over here on the left, this is pretty cool. So you got PTZ. You can add a PTZ to these mobile devices. Maybe you're an investigator or something and you have a PTZ and you want to see down the street. Very easy to connect and move around. There's another question. So how much data does it transmit for remote viewing? So it would depend on one, video quality. As Rich explained, we have a lot of new things coming out, 1080p IP. Obviously, that's going to take a little more bandwidth. But if you're not pulling video all the time, it's not much data, not much more than maybe accessing a web page or something like that. It's not a lot of data, but video, of course, does require more, and that's kind of it's up in the air as to what kind you're doing.
So Mike, what kind of cameras does it work with in the United States?
Cameras? Carriers.
Carrier, excuse me.
So yeah, it's going to work with across the board. If you can get a SIM card with data on it, it'll work in our device. In the past, we had Verizon that, you know, the problem was getting the SIM card, but now it's changed. So yeah, if you can get a SIM card with data on it, you're able to put it into the device, and there you go, you're ready to go.
Where do I buy a SIM card? Is there a difference
So
between
you got
3G and 4G?
wherever your carrier is, whoever you decide to go with, that's going to be on you, of course. We don't provide the SIM card. That's going to be a data plan on your provider.
So does it work with Verizon?
It does work with Verizon now. Yeah. In the past, like I said, in the past they didn't, only because it was hard to get the SIM card. But now it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let me go through a couple more of these features here. This color just is, you know, change the colors on the live screen if they don't look right to you. But I want to go over this VoIP right here. So what do they mean by VoIP? It's a two-way audio, intercom, or you can monitor, just only listen to what's going on inside the cab, or you can broadcast and just, you know, speak what you want. That's pretty cool. And that goes back to the two-way audio PTT device if you want to have that installed or not. So you come across here. Another important tab I want to go over is My Maps. So actually, go back to here first. You can see there's numerous devices on this list. And right now we only have a few in one area highlighted to show you, but if I wanted to go to another area, these are all my other maps that I have. You know, I might have hundreds across, you know, many states. And so I want to figure out an easier way to pull up those maps quickly and see my vehicles quickly. So you have a My Maps area that helps you do that. But across the top here, so video, we can have up to 9 screens of video. And these are live. You can have multiple vehicles on one screen, not a problem at all. But for the sake of this webinar, I'm just going to leave it on those 2. Don't want to pull too much data. Yeah, tracking. This is pretty cool. I like this part. So let's say the last week or so, I want to know what happened with. Let's pick one of these guys here.
Are you generating a report?
I'm going to show GPS tracking for the last 2 weeks for this vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. And this is back to the 14th. And as this thing moves along, let's move in here. It's going to show everywhere that this bus has been in the last 2 weeks. And you can see its little, where it's gone. As this thing starts to play, you'll see the vehicle actually moving as it scrolls through. So this is pretty cool. Keeps track. It's not only live, but it also keeps track in your history of where the vehicle's gone. There it goes. Last 2 weeks, it's going to show its route. Recorded video. Just like a regular recorder, search a date, comes on your timeline, and bam, you can watch the recorded video anytime you need. And you download it from here. So it's actually grabbing it from, you're connecting to the server's connecting to the recorder, and you're grabbing it from the server.
GPS is its own world. GPS is its own separate.
So yeah, it's a good thing. A lot of recorders out there don't do GPS. If they do, it's a monthly service that you have to pay. Ours, you don't. That's a key
feature to separate.
Yeah.
Bolide from the rest.
Yeah. Yep. No more paying for a monthly service. GPS tracking. That's part of the recorder. As long as you got it connected to the internet, you're good. Even if you don't, you can pull that after the fact. Yeah. So alarm configuration. This is how you set up your alarms. Different recorders, different channels. How do you want it to trigger? Stuff like that. There. Alarm filters. So you want to search through different alarms. I think we had a question about the panic button. You want to search, for fence alarms, on/off. Numerous options to go through to try to pull information. There's another question. Do I have to set up a server to track GPS coordinates of the vehicle? So the way it works on the GPS side, like I said, so it'll track everything. Let's say you don't have a wireless connection to it, right? You're just using it as a recorder. You still want to track the GPS coordinates. As long as you have that GPS antenna installed and it's on the device, it'll track that information and store it in its history. So you can always go back and track it later if you don't have the live connection. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Alarm filters, different ways to pull alarms, system settings, record settings, but this is what I really want to go over is the report queue. So let me pull this over here.
What are we looking at now?
So this is inside the server actually, and what I want to show is all the different reports that you can pull with some of the things we have on this recorder. A quick summary is going to give you mileage, daily mileage, speed report, online summary, how long was the vehicle actually being tracked. Where was I? Input output alarm reports, driver behavior, if they're driving erratically, how many times did we get a trigger on that? Temperature, storage, is it full? And I mean numerous reports. I can go all we can have a whole webinar on just reports alone. This thing does so much.
We have a question. Can I show a stamp on the video of the vehicle's coordinates?
Yes, you can.
Oh.
Yes, you can. So yeah, it'll give you the coordinates as you're driving. It'll also give you the time. So many different options that you have on these particular recorders, other than standalone regular recorders. These mobile recorders are really, I guess you could really call them smart recorders. All the stuff that they do now. So yeah, here's once again just all the reports you can pull, and it comes out. You can export that either CSV or PDF, and you can print them out and you're ready to go.
CSV?
Yep. Yeah, basically it's an Excel spreadsheet. So back to here. So yeah, that's the client. Yeah, so let's move on a little bit. Okay. So then lastly, of course, there is a mobile app. The mobile app is going to give you just very simple GPS tracking and live video. And that's in the Google Play Store. Yeah, so it's pretty much, you could have that on your phone if you really need to see, and it's going to connect the same way. It's going to connect to the server, just like the recorder does. And yeah.
Okay, so what are the ideal applications? School buses, public transportation, taxis, law enforcement, public safety, armored cars, logistics, construction vehicles, airplanes, boats. Also come up with, let's think outside the box. You mentioned somebody you know who has a solar powered mobile setup.
Yeah, in fact, we have a customer that does his whole, I don't know if his whole business, but the majority of his business is he makes these solar powered recorders in boxes, roll out there. They got solar panels on them, and uses the input outputs and the SD card in different situations just to pull them out to construction sites or different scenarios. And he rents these things out.
That input output opens up a whole world of possibilities for business ideas.
No, yeah, the input output, just like a regular camera, it's a switch you can remote kill switch, kill the vehicle, lock the doors, like you mentioned, panic button, numerous things. Installers can put these into their bag of tricks.
Okay, so thank you, Mike. Do we have questions? Questions out there?
So we really wanted to keep it within an hour, 30 minutes for you guys. We didn't want to hold you guys too long. Yeah.
Before we go, I want to make sure you guys are aware of our promotion. Thank you for sticking with us throughout the whole webinar. That's 20% off one mobile video recorder. So go ahead and contact your sales rep here at Bolide. We'll help you out. This webinar will also be on our YouTube page shortly, so you can share it with others. And your sales rep could always do a personalized webinar one-on-one for you guys.
So yeah, we got some more questions. How many units can I manage? So that's I think I forgot that slide. There's the way the servers are structured, I think it's up to 5,000 units on one server, and then you need a second server after that. But so, I mean, the scale is limitless. You can have as many as you want going on your system, and you just keep going. I mean, that's another cool thing about this setup. Yeah.
Any more questions? Here's a question.
So do I need this keep the server running 24/7? Yeah, you do. The reason being is because, for one, to boot it every day, you want to just keep it running. That way, when a vehicle comes on, it's going to automatically connect, right? And you're ready to go.
Will this device be 5G ready?
So that's a good question. I'm not sure. We can actually get back to you on the 5G, since I don't know how many things are actually 5G yet. I'm pretty sure eventually, yeah, we are going to have 5G.
That infrastructure's not ready yet?
Yeah, we're going to go with the times, you know what I mean? 5G is coming up, so I'm pretty sure we will have 5G at some point, for sure. Yeah. So any other questions before we wrap it up?
All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Again, this webinar will be up on our YouTube page. We have a YouTube channel, so you have lots of informative videos up there for you. So
yeah, we had a couple other questions. They do work AHD, as opposed to, when I say HD, I mean HD over coax. So yeah, so basically you can use just about any analog camera that we sell on our mobile recorder.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Mike.
Thank everybody for attending. If there's no more questions, I guess we'll be wrapping it up. Thank you, everybody. Until next time. We have one more question. So they're vandal proof. The question is, how vandal resistant are these? They're all pretty much, I mean, of course, if you go and hang on it, it's like any other camera. It's all no matter how it's installed. But they are vandal camera. They will, I mean, put a spray can to it, it's gonna block the lens, but they're made for vehicles. They're pretty sturdy. And of course, you always put a vandal dome if you really need it. It's a little big, but it will work.
So as a reminder, all of you, just mention that you were a participant in this webinar, and you'll get 20% off one mobile video recorder. Here's our YouTube channel, Bolide Technology Group North America, and give us a call at 909-305-8889. Our website's bolideco.com. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, guys.